My goodness. Welcome to another episode of Ascension Activations. Excellent. Welcome so incredibly much. Everybody, I didn't start TikTok, so we're going to just do this really quick. Let me see. Let's see. Excellent. I'll just click go live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ascension Activations. Welcome. Thank you guys so incredibly much for joining us tonight. Before we start, we are going to just say thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channel message tonight. Thank you for bringing forward the most aligned information for all the individuals watching throughout time and space. We are going to start with an Om. An Om opens and expands the upper chakra centers, allowing each of us to form a unity consciousness grid. This allows for each of our thoughts to become blended in unity consciousness during the moment of the channeling. So we just want to take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. As we begin tonight's channeled session, we wish for each of you to hold unconditional love in your hearts. For we are rebalancing all of your energetics to allow a higher frequency caliber transmission for tonight. You may feel a gentle warmth running through your bodies. You may feel a light tingle of your skin. As each of you connects into this unity consciousness grid, we wish for each of you to observe your higher selves. For your higher self is grounding and connecting into your hearts now. Remember who you are, dear ones. And you shall activate your highest potential timeline expressions. Thank you. Thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channel message. Thank you. We are grateful for you. Okay, so we had a question come in. The question was, during different meditations, this individual was doing different types of breath work. They noticed that one of their vertebrae in the behind the neck chakra kept popping. So whenever we pull more energy into the body, we may actually notice parts of our spine click or pop or shift. There is an energetic channel that runs directly up the spinal cord. It actually pushes spinal cord fluid up the water kundalini channel, which is in the rear of the body. Now, whenever we start to push more light ions through that water kundalini channel, it then allows your spinal cord to rebalance its physical material. There are different forms of meditation. We call it meditation, but it is truly a energetic casting form, which will allow access into each one of the 33 vertebrae. Dear ones, your traumas may be stored on each vertebrae system. These are aligned into each chakra subsystem. When the primary individual reflects in awareness into any one of these vertebrae, it may then be correlated into a chakra. This, dear ones, allows for a fine detail of what emotional trauma is being stored in your body. for each chakra subsystem reflects a different angular light orientation from your higher self. It shifts your awareness level of that aspect of your energetic matrix. For example, dear ones, any imbalances in your solar plexus may be identified utilizing the inner child protocols, allowing your creativity to be veiled under that solar plexus density or distortion. And once each individual cleanses and purifies that chakra system, your vertebrae will then heal or snap back into a form of alignment with your highest potential timeline expression. Each one of you includes a higher potential timeline in which your higher self fully embodies your physical material. The higher self then takes the seat of the soul located in the lower heart chakra system. When each of you truly know who you are, the higher energetic centers not only become activated, but they also allow a form of transparency between you and your higher self. This allows for different celestial activations to come into your physical reality. Dear ones, when you are your higher self, it allows you to have an upper advantage point over the physical reality as you see it. For example, you may see into the different worlds expressed within a vibrational alignment or cohesion from the current reality that each of you are perceiving. What this means, there is other realities that are very close in its binary signature. These realities, dear ones, you are already looking into. You may just become more aware that they are there. Tiny little frequency changes within your center soul tubule, which is in your heart, may then reflect into a different world among worlds expression. Dear ones, you may change or modify any aspect of your physical reality simply by going into your hearts, by changing the way you feel. It is that simple. For modifying the way you feel then allows different light settings to reflect outwards from the center soul tubule. Thank you. Thank you, dear star people. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. So we had a post we are going to read tonight. It is called The Expression of a Soul. Okay, this is one of the new posts from my Ascension Activations. That's the new book, which is coming out sometime very, very soon. Okay, The Expression of a Soul. Each higher self may reflect downwards the light energetic systems and radiate into multiple biological forms at any given moment of time and space. During the human experience, knowledge of emotion codes connected into an experiential is of high value. An experiential is any experience that repeats over and over in our lives in order for us to hold more love for that experience. These are very similar to our life lessons. Okay. When the higher self selects variations, a variation are souls contained within a biological vessel. So it's you, but a different variation of you. It may select multiple variations contained within different body forms, occurring at the same time, manifesting into the same experience. This type of cellular expression is achieved primarily to grant the higher self access into the full range emotion codings of said experience. So let's just break that down. Your higher self is so powerful that it can align, let's just say 3 people, and those 3 people are all connected into your higher self. Even if one of those people has a different higher self, your higher self in a cellular information is the higher self university. It's all the capabilities of the higher self, and including any energetic blending or bonding into secondary player character or body vessels, as star people are saying. So what that looks like is this. Let's say your higher self wants to have the full emotion range of all the potentials of an experience. They will either select the body vessels that they already are inhabiting. They may choose a third body vessel, which may be related to a different higher self. And then they make arrangements or alignments to fractalize a piece of the higher self into the third body vessel. That's only one experience. There's many different aspects of that. Then all three people show up to have an experience. And what this does is it allows your higher self to see from all the different lenses of that experience. That is a very rapid way to learn every single emotion code for that experience. When we start to identify, oh, okay, well, this is happening and it's happening from all these different levels, we start to see, oh, okay, well, the higher self wanted me to go through this experience so that I can see what it looks like and I can see it from different viewpoints. Each experience, when we know all of the emotion codes for the experience, literally putting yourself in their shoes, it brings a different awareness to that phrase itself. Because when we have an experience and we just imagine from that person's perspective, well, how did they feel? And having that and saying, okay, I comprehend how they felt, it allows you to transmutate that entire experiential. It's very, very high value when we start talking about cellular information. Cellular, once again, is from the soul's level of awareness. It is of high value for each of us to start looking at, what does my soul need me to learn? Or why? Not really why, but what is it here for? What is it here to teach my soul? Why am I involved in this particular experience? And why did I choose it for manifestation? What is it that I'm here to learn from? Or is it here to allow me to fulfill my highest passion? So that's another one, right? Okay, let's see. Emotion coding knowledge is of high value for the higher self. For as the human experience is generating life lessons to gain emotion code resonance knowledge, it then reflects upwards to the higher self school of thought. As above, so below. All information learned is stored in both the Akashic field and the quantum codex. So, the Akashic field is your body vessel and all your past and future life incarnations and all light ion or light based knowledge pertaining to all of those different life incarnations. The quantum codex is all secondary or variations of you. So, for example, let's say in this lifetime, your body vessel turned left and then you turned right. That timeline is your Akashic record, as well as the reverberations into the past lives and the future lives. That information is actually stored in your axial tonal lines, the star people are saying. Now, when we start to look, okay, she didn't turn left and then right, she went left, left, and then left, right. That information is on the quantum codex. Those are your potentials. All potential of all thought is in the quantum codex, as well as variations throughout time and space. So, for example, you may perceive yourself as the individual sitting here in this moment in time and space, but your soul is also connected into other world among worlds expressions in a multiverse. So let's say, for an example, there is another world out there that looks just like yours, or even the mirror dimension, the star people are saying. It is the exact opposite polarity of what you are seeing right now in your world. That information is stored within the quantum codex. Each of us are able to pull downloads from both the Akashic records, which many people are doing right now. That's really interesting. But then the quantum codex. So the quantum codex basically unlocks a mental grid ability to download any information from any time, space, or player character resonance field. The star people are saying what that means is if you wanted to receive an answer from any person throughout time and space, let's say you wanted to receive an answer from Mickey Mouse, the star people are saying, yes, that is a fictional character. However, there is still a consciousness behind the character Mickey Mouse. So you are able to drop in from a 3D reality. We would call it dropping into meditation, closing your eyes, feeling how does that character feel? How does his personality feel? Can you hear the way his voice sounds? And then asking a question, but receiving it as if it is your voice speaking that character. You're going to start to notice the more you do this, this is a form of telepathy, and it is a channeled, downloadable packet of knowledge that you are receiving, because it goes as a brick of knowledge and it implants into your heart, and then you're able to ask questions. This is how the personality grid complex works. We are able to call in, it's a light cord or an ethereal cord. It comes down through the top of the crown chakra, locates itself in a 64-bit cube inside of your heart, and then shifts your personality, allowing that secondary character to then speak through you. There's different forms of communication that we're able to facilitate. We are also able to open a perception box or a perception window. What that looks like is really each and every one of us, you may imagine. And what that looks like is imagining in the right side. It comes in the right side. Well, that's how I see it. You may see it differently. It comes in the right side and it opens like a little box. And when it opens, it more like a rectangle, the star people are saying, you may then see either a face, you may see a location, you may see out of somebody's eyes. It could even be an animal or insect. You may just have the awareness. The star people are saying, some of you guys have done this already. You may have had the awareness of, he's saying it's like darkness, but what it was more like you were pushing into a biological vessel that had their eyes closed and they were like asleep or in meditation. There's a form of two-way communication that is actually being facilitated when you do that. You'll know who it is because you'll get full body chills right now. And when you pushed in, you just felt like this darkness, but then all of a sudden it was like, you should have stayed. Go back in and stay a little bit longer, because then you're going to start to feel, you may start to feel like tingles when you start to access the system. You may feel an arm, you may feel a leg, you may get a vision. It's going to sound like that, like, and the second that you see it, you'll know because you can't unsee it. And you may feel like you were just underneath the skin. This is how the nervous system net works in every single living thing, even a blade of grass. It feels as if it is right underneath the skin, but this is cellular information. You're astral projecting your soul out of your body when we start to push into another perception window, and you may start to feel the nervous system net of any secondary person, place, or thing. The location perception windows are a tiny bit different. They actually allow the energy of the location to be felt first, and then your body, it's really not your body, but your body will shift and you'll feel that location. And then all of a sudden in the third eye, you're going to start to see that location. Once again, you have to believe in order to know. But the second you know, it becomes your world. So the whole process of imagining is actually forming energetic tubules that then ground in and magnetically align you to unlock the extrasensory abilities. You activating the inner child is in the solar plexus. The inner child knows how to imagine and how to give yourself permission to, it's okay if I sit here and if I play and I imagine, and it's okay for me to just have this level of awareness, whatever it is that you're seeing or you're attempting to open up, just give yourself permission. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see something. You're going to feel something. You may get the chills. You may get like a rush of heat. You may feel someone else's body. So I was waking up 1 a.m. and as I was coming into, that moment in which you're waking up, I felt the mouth of one of my friends at the time. And it was like, it was an awareness of, oh, wow, this is what this person's mouth feels like. And I was like, how the heck am I doing this? And then all of a sudden I was back in my own body, and I had this distinct, awareness. I was just their mouth. And it was like I felt all the teeth, I felt their tongue, I felt every single aspect of what it feels. Now, what the star people are telling us is you're literally sensing in to that thought form or that emotion code, because the two run together, but they are very distinct individual settings. So, feeling into the way someone's body feels, it has to be done throughout time and space, because you can feel into the way their 4-year-old body vessel felt, and it's much smaller, it's more compressed. You may feel the star people saying it's much more light and bright compared to seeing or sensing into like the 50-year-old body, as an example. It's a different emotional setting. Same person, but different emotions. Each and every one of us, we go through different emotion codes throughout the entire course of our life. When we are aware of how the thought forms resonate, how we feel them, what emotional settings are, then we can start to close the eyes and feel. Even if you feel like you are making it up or imagining it, feel it anyway. The best one to start with is, what does your most healed version feel like? Once again, the star people are showing me, I don't know if anyone has seen the Marvel movies. I love the Marvel movies. So there was a moment in one of the Marvel movies in which Loki, who is a shapeshifter, he shifted into Captain America. And he was like, wow, it feels like this. The star people are like, that's exactly how it works. You're multidimensional. You have to feel the emotion code, and then you have to push it into every single cell inside of your body. So what I did when I woke up, I felt the emotion of that person's mouth. What then the consciousness must do is push it into all of the cells and hold it. Now, once again, there is a 369 pattern of manifestation. That time space waveform is working with. That can be overridden in the blink of an eye. You just have to know how to do it. And how you do it is you command the emotion code to set into all of the cells in that chakra aligned system. So if you are focused in the mouth and you are changing the emotional settings in the mouth, you visualize it, you feel it, you will literally feel it. The second that you feel it, set it. I set you into all the cells in the body. Hold, lock it. Thank your higher self for locking the new emotional setting. It's okay if it takes a couple of times to do it. You will, in time, get it done. I recommend doing it with love for your body. You do not only have to use this because let me tell you, your entire facial structure will change the second that we start doing things like this. 1,000% it will change. There's also the messengers. So messengers are angels, or we have lower frequency attachments, we call them. Every single emotion code comes with a range of messengers: positive, negative, and neutral. Any emotional signature that you are pulling into your body and you are then setting, you then are going to have a range of attachments or a range of messengers that come with that new emotional setting. That's okay too. They're here to help assist us in holding the new emotional codes. So, what we would do is we would call on the angels. I like to recommend calling on the angels because they are the higher frequency messengers. But the truth is, the neutral ones are very useful and beneficial to have as guides and to help with our manifestations. We can call on them too and just say thank you. Any emotion code has a messenger. So, for example, um, if you've ever done like, the best day ever, rah, that body movement of putting your hands in the air like this, that is actually a messenger name. This is where yoga comes from, because when you are utilizing different body poses and you are pulling in the air, you literally are pulling in ether and you are setting that emotion, because emotions change the body stances. You literally are able to, for 1 minute, put your hands on your hips and stand like Superman. And when you do that, after a minute, your brain starts to respond. It releases a group of hormones that make the rest of your body feel good. when someone is, let's say they're sad, they slunge forward. When someone is really happy, their chest and their neck comes upwards. Your body expresses emotions. This is how the body is designed to work. The second that we can identify that, now all of a sudden, okay, my body is going to show emotions. There's also micro expressions, very rapid flashes of emotions. When we start to identify micro expressions, the lines on the face and the way that the emotions resonate, it then imprints us. Each emotion, each line, when we go through and we heal that emotion, the line disappears. We are multidimensional. Time and space is very fluid in its nature, which means if you believe that you have to live within the limitations of time and space, you will perceive that world. But if you believe you do not have to live within time and space, you will perceive that world. And we all know, every single one of us has had this experience where you're very happy and then all of a sudden time flies, or you're very sad and time goes really slow. So that shows us our emotions have an effect on our perception of time and space. You cannot bend the spoon, for that is impossible. It is you that bends, and then it mirror reflects the new frequency setting that you were holding inside of your body. That is how it works. So the second that we're aware, okay, well, wait a second. Now I can hold new emotion codes inside of my body. How does it make you feel? Comes right away. How does it make you feel? What emotional setting do you wish to imprint inside of your body? Now let's get into imprinting new emotions. We have to hold a very high emotion, and a high emotion can either be a positive polarity or a negative one. That's the choices each and every one of us makes. I like to guide people, try your best to hold the positive ones. When you hold a high frequency of excitement, send it into your body. I am so excited. Today is the best day ever. I am so excited. I am fully healed. You double tap your body, double tap your heart. When we double tap the heart, it actually imprints the heart and sends a signal up to the higher self. Um, it allows that emotion code resonance to really get into the center soul tubule, which starts to have an effect on every single cell inside of your body. So double tapping the heart is of high value. There's also different techniques to imprint. You can swallow. Swallowing sends the energy right down to the heart, right up to the higher self as well. So yes, it may look a little silly, but when you say today is the best day ever, swallow. Double tap your heart. You are sending signals to the higher self. This is energetic in its nature. However, there is also a biological response which starts to happen the second that we start affirming. I am is of high value for each of us. For I am pulls thought forms automatically into your energy grids. This, and all the thought forms are circular in their nature. They literally look like a mandala or a snowflake, except the thought form is a circle, and it goes on the outside of your body. It surrounds you. When we start to use the I am, we are pulling in thought forms. You may use I release, or just say the word release for any old thought forms that you want to clear off of your energy grids. That is of high value. For when we start to release the dark thought forms and we start to pull in the I am positive frequency ones, the messenger system automatically activates, aligning you with that particular energy resonance, which is going to help you to manifest more and more into that thought form. Now, when we start to talk about mirror reflections, the way energy works is like this. We'll say something, especially now the frequencies that we're in holding here on this earth, many of us are already seeing very, very rapid manifestations. So when we start to say, I am, now all of a sudden we'll click the cameras off and we'll see it in real time. And I'm telling you guys, whatever thought form that you are holding, you don't have to see it on a commercial. You can go out into the real waking world and you will see it show up on a street sign. You will see it show up in a multitude of ways. It may show up many different ways. This is where, we may have started to see the 222, 333 on the clocks, on the license plates. That's literally because we were holding the thought form, which then started a process of mirror reflecting that energy into our systems. Now, what I'm telling you guys is do it on command. Do it on purpose. Even if you have to keep saying it over and over, I am the happiest, highest frequency version of myself. Say it over and over again. Set an alarm, do it each hour. Write it, put it on your walls. All these things are going to help to summon the thought forms. Actually, on the north side of your bedroom, the north is our manifestation wall. It is the front of the body. That's how it's connected in the ethereal web, the star people are saying. Once we know this, if you guys choose to put a manifestation board up on the north side of the wall, once again, the way you're going to see those things manifest is you may start to see the mirror reflections first of holding the thought form. We have something called the reticular activating system, which is in the front cortex of the brain. The reticular activating system, the second that you guys go to purchase a car, that area of the brain, it highlights, and now all of a sudden you start seeing that car everywhere. This is how your brain is designed to work. It is showing you the alignments that you are keeping. Now, all of a sudden, even your internet and your feed and all that stuff, it starts to align you to see whatever car it is that you are going to purchase. That is because you are magnetically aligning yourself into those mirror reflections. Everything is energy. Even the technology that we use, it's a mirror reflection of the frequencies that we are holding inside of our bodies. Now, when we start to give gratitude, once again, gratitude is a high frequency. It's very similar to love, bliss, gratitude, excitement. Authenticity is the highest frequency right now in the 3D reality that you can hold. That is literally because above authenticity, we start to touch into the higher self frequency range. Now, when we start to hold authenticity and each and every one of us steps into that reality where we're like, this is who I'm meant to be. This is what I'm going to do. This brings me the most amount of excitement. Now, all of a sudden, you start to shift the things that you were focused on to things that are going to bring you more and more excitement. Now, all of a sudden, your mirror reflections are vibrationally aligning you into more experiences, which are going to bring you more happy, exciting things. However, while we're on that path to really ground in and hold the higher self into our bodies, there's a process of healing that each and every one of us is already on the journey of doing. And that process of healing is the cycle repeats. So the cycle repeats is any energetic mark or any, let's say I'm telling you guys to, push new emotion codes into the body. All of the trauma emotions that we have experienced, they're already pushed into the body. Now it's up to us to release them, because when we release them, all of the cycle repeats stop happening. Many of us, light workers, star seeds, or just old souls that are here, we came here to hold on to not only ancestral karma from the family, but you may even have noticed the civilization ancestral karma playing out in your current life expression, including your past life expression. So the way this works is like this. Our higher self chose to come here to help humanity. In my world, among worlds expression, everyone else is different. Your awarenesses are all different. In my world, we chose to come here. We chose to go through the ancestral karma because we knew we could transmutate it. We would have guides and we would have help and support. Even if we were unaware of it, they were still helping and they were still supporting. And as we transmutated it, the civilization things came up for us to send more love to. And so when we start to dive into the topic of seeing things in your world that are not in alignment with love, and we'll just leave it there. When you see these things, it literally is an opportunity for us to send it love. And even if it's something that, we are guided that releasing the fear is of high value because in 5D, your fears manifest. Those are your cycle repeats. So when we come to neutrality and when it's okay, I see it, I see the fears, I see the darkness, and I'm grateful. Thank you. And just like that, you send it love, you're taking away the cycle repeat and you're taking away that power that it holds over you. No matter how dark it is, we choose to send it love. This is praying, right? When we pray for the darkness, now all of a sudden, all that stuff disappears from our life. And it disappears from your world expression. Because, like the spoon, you can't bend the spoon, but you can change. And then the spoon reflects already being bent. So all the darkness that we see, even the Mercury retrogrades and all the things that come up, neutral, hold neutral, and then send it love. And then all of a sudden, just as quickly it is came into your life, it is gone. And it is never to be seen again because you transmutated it. You know, it's a stepping stone process. Each and every one of us, we go through different bricks of consciousness, and each brick of consciousness contains a set of experientials in order for us to go walk through. Each brick of consciousness, when we clean up all those emotions and we release them and we hold love, that brick disappears and the next brick in a higher frequency comes forward. Some cycle repeats will come into one of the next bricks that is of a higher frequency. That's okay too. I've seen the bricks of consciousness repeat on a civilization level. And it was like all of the people around me, so many of them, they all had to go through the same experiences again. It was like, oh man, we had to repeat the brick of consciousness. But it was a good awareness to have because it was like, okay, now I'm repeating all of the cycle repeats and all the things, and everyone else is doing it too. And it's like, wow, okay. So I got a firsthand look of how the bricks of consciousness truly work. The second that you know the way the system works, it's like, okay, if you're getting triggered, you're going through it, just take a moment and come inwards, feel into your heart. And really, what the star people have been teaching us over the past couple of years is the messenger system. So the messengers, the lower frequency ones, we call attachments. Attachments can be any lower frequency emotion code. And when we just start to use the word release, now all of a sudden, it's like, was any of that me? Or was that just an energy or a veil that was put onto my grids in order for me to transmutate? Because the second that you transmutate all that darkness, you feel very clean energetically inside. And then the more and more we start to transmutate the darkness, now all of a sudden the higher self takes a seat in the heart and it flowers open. And when the higher self flowers open, now you start to remember who you are more and more each time you connect. An activated being is a being whose higher self is situated in the heart, flowered open, and now different energetic settings come into your awareness. So, different energetic settings, we have a band of neurons inside of your brain. When these activate, it activates your axial tonal lines of your celestial being. Your celestial being is your higher self. The more and more we start to go into the heart, we can start to see the axial tonal lines. It looks like an energetic grid surrounding your body, but when you move, the lines move because it is literally a reflection of your energy. Each and every one of those axial tonal lines connects you to different people, places, and things. So now the second that you can see the axial tonal lines, you can close your eyes. Some people, we could see it with the eyes open. I saw it with my eyes open. If you see any darkness on one of the lines, you push light into it. And you know what? The weirdest things will happen to you because when you push light into it, now your relationships come back and they reflect more love. So let's say, let's say your inner circle people has a tiny bit of gray, and that tiny bit of gray in the axial tonal line, it represents an experience that you've had with your people. And all of a sudden you push light into the gray means that you've healed that experiential code. Now, all of a sudden, when you're around your people, they're happy. It's like it changes. It changes every single aspect. I've seen people's personalities shift from doing the energy work. And it was like, a complete 360 of their personality because you went inside and you healed something inside of you, and the other person's reflection then changed. This is how multidimensionality actually works. You are able to not only, heal relationships in this manner, but you're able to pull your awareness back up to your higher self, and you are able to assist your own healings by communicating with their higher selves. These are called contracts. Um, when you go inwards and you, with your intent to contact someone else's higher self, you're able to send them love and thank them. Thank you for these experiences, no matter how dark they are. Thank you. I'm grateful. And thank you for helping me to heal this experience in my physical reality. The higher selves, they know what they're doing. So if you are still in alignment to receive more darkness with that person, that literally is because the higher selves have determined it's okay for you to have a couple more lessons. So we don't have to worry about, making contracts with other people's higher selves and like changing. It's all connected. You're allowed to do it this way. And the same thing happens when we remove attachments off of people. So within 3 days, if their higher self deems that that attachment is needed, it will open up the star field door and allow that energetic presence back into their field. And then they will see under the veil of that attachment again. So, once again, all healing is self healing. We can remove the darkness. But if the higher self says, well, we need that for this experience or whatever, it'll come right back. But that's okay. Because the second, from the human perspective, the second that you have the awareness, oh, okay, here's that emotion code. And here we cleared it once. And now you felt this light and bright. But now here it came back. That person has an opportunity. They're aware. Oh, okay, it's this emotion code. I'm going to clear it again. And they clear it again. And they clear it again. And then all of a sudden, the higher self says, well, this emotion code, my person is holding love for this emotion code. That person doesn't need to learn from that emotion code, whoosh, and takes that thought form off of their energy field. Now the cycle repeat marks stop manifesting for them. That is free will. The more and more each of us spends our focus and our dedication to clearing the energy field, the lighter and brighter our actual world becomes. It's beautiful. Okay, so when you are triggered, go inwards and send love to the feeling and feel it in your heart chakra. Yes, you could do that, but also command that feeling to release. Once again, we're not releasing the feeling, we're releasing the messenger that is attached with the feeling or with the emotion code. So even when we release attachments, there is a process of unpacking the emotion code. And what that looks like is, how does that emotion make you feel? A lot of times it's like it's pushing into the emotion. So now you felt it, we released it, unpack it, you go through it and heal it. So each and every messenger, we had to trigger that emotion code to flip open a door and allow the messenger onto our energetic grids. That's okay too. That's how we're designed to work. All messengers are here to help assist our manifestations. So we look at it basically like a school. We are here to trigger the lower frequencies or to have an awareness of them. And each and every one that we heal unlocks higher opposite polarity frequency settings. So, for example, the way a frequency wave works is like this. There's a high and a low, and there's a neutral point to every single emotion code. So if we are experiencing darkness, then we are able to experience the exact opposite polarity of light. So if you only go into the darkness this much, you can open up the light the same exact amount. But if you go deep diving into the darkness, you can reach into the lighter of light realms. That's how your energy grid is designed to work. And that's okay too. It's not a competition. Each and every one of us, we may go into the darkness, we may feel it, and we may send it love. If you wanted to be able to open up the higher energy centers, which every single one of us are doing naturally, you can just imagine. And a lot of times, the darker information or the darker experiences or emotion codes, we've seen them on TV. That means we already have the awareness of them. We have the emotion code already just from watching it on a television set. Basically, the television gave us a big leg up when it comes to unlocking the light and bright centers, because now we can imagine it, we can visualize it, we can send it love, and we can allow the exact opposite polarity to then grind or ground into our physical reality. And what that looks like is now we hold unconditional love for that emotion code. The process of going in and imagining all the darkness and sending it love during a meditation will also clear up and give you a very clean energetic feeling inside of your body, because you are consciously taking dominion over your energetic field. The entire biological form, it has an energetic signature running through your nervous system, running through your thoughts, running through your heart. Your heart vortexes all emotional settings, and because it is fluid in its nature, it pushes all those emotions into every single cell in the body. So when we can identify, okay, let's hold unity consciousness and love inside of our hearts, and let's allow that new feeling, that new emotion code to then resonate into every single aspect of our bodies. What's going to happen is you're going to start to hold a higher frequency thought form outside of your body. This is in the aura field. That thought form, you literally can see through it like a veil. So every single thing that you are seeing is going to have that lens for you to see through, because you are holding it inside of your heart, and the heart shifts every other aspect of you because of the connection with tachyon particles and with the higher self. Now, when we start to, let's say we want to start pulling veils. So a veil, once again, is a thought form. It could be any emotional setting. So the star people guide people to find your happy thought. Literally, any thought that you have ever had that makes you feel the most amount of love and bliss, we close our eyes and we see that thought. So sometimes it'll be a picture. And you know how when you look at a picture, it makes you feel a type of way, right? Like you feel really good. You're like, oh, I love that person, or my child, or your animal, whatever it is. Each and every one of us are different. That's okay. Close your eyes, and I want you guys to see the image of that picture. Even if it's not a physical picture, even if it's a memory, see it. And the second that you can see it in your imagination, if you can't imagine or you can't see it, feel it. How does it make you feel? The second you can feel it, I want you to say, I lock it into my energetic signature. Thank you, higher self. If you can't remember that, just say lock. I lock this emotion setting. How does it make you feel? Now you just do a body check. How does my body feel? I'm calling in this picture, generating it as a veil. So now everything I see in my waking world is going to be run through that emotion code. Different images will give you different emotion settings. This is the same exact thing as eating a piece of food. When you eat any type of plant or food, let's say you eat a cookie, it is giving you a very particular emotional setting in your body. If we hook the body up to see the nervous system then, to see the brain waves, and to see different emotions through the aura field even, as you were eating that plant, your energy field shifts. The second that you're eating that plant and you're commanding that energy to lock, now all of a sudden your aura field locks into that new energetic setting. Now, let's say you go about your day. You're witnessing your world among worlds expression through that emotion veil. That's how the system is set up. So this is why they say, be the I am. I am. You don't need to actually eat a piece of food in order to hold a new emotional setting. You can hold a crystal. See, many times, let me pick a good one. Many times when we hold the crystal, we'll feel it. It'll shift the nervous system then. We'll have an awareness of this. Many of the energy healers watching, you guys will hold a crystal and you'll be like, whoa, oh, the crystal did this, or it had this effect. And then all of a sudden, you set it. And now you put the crystal down and you do not need the crystal because you know the emotional setting. So this is what a crystal keeper is. It is a person who has the awareness of how does a crystal make me feel? You may feel the nervous system net shift for each crystal. Some of the crystals open up the upper centers. Some of them crack open the heart. Every crystal is different. Some of them are meteorites, and some of them remove darkness off of your field very rapidly. Moldavite is one such crystal. It's intense if you're not used to working with it. It removes the things that are not in alignment with your higher self. When you put a piece of moldavite in your hand, you may feel the energy shifting all over the place. Sometimes we will hold a crystal and you may feel like, I want to say like an electrical like spark in different areas of your body. That's your nervous system net. Even though it feels like your skin, you may feel it in your eye, you may feel it in your forehead, you may feel it in your throat. You just have to keep holding on to the crystal because the crystal knows what it's doing and it's unblocking the tiny little meridians and ley line crossings inside of your body. And the more and more we start to hold the crystal and allow it, thank you, crystal, for healing me. Now, all of a sudden, if you burp, if you feel a gurgle in your belly, it's okay. Any body sensations that come up, you may feel like that comes from your ear, or like fluid is being released, like that opening up. It is literally because the crystal is realigning you. Sometimes you have to hold on to the crystal for a few moments. And then you may start to feel different settings inside of your body start to shift. Then when you put it down, let's say you come back to it after 3 days, you pick it up and you notice it's doing the same areas. Now you know that crystal is unlocking your meridian and ley line system in these areas. When you start to program your crystals, let's say you have an awareness of the meridian and the ley line system, or even the star field vortices, now you can ask politely, thank you, crystal, for opening and expanding my meridian system. Thank you for healing my star field. You can even call upon the exact star field node or nodule. Thank you for healing starfield nodule 80 or 080. Now, all of a sudden, you close your eyes, you may feel the space outside of your body. You may feel a gurgle. You may feel both. You may ask it one at a time. Here today, we are going to clear starfield nodule 1. Thank you, crystal, for clearing starfield nodule 1. Write it down. Where did you feel the changes inside of your body? What did you feel outside of your body? Where did you feel your nodule 1? And then more and more, as you start to work with the system, you're going to start to feel the electrical, like it feels like an electrical like zap. And you'll feel it in like your forehead and you're like, oh, okay, wait a second. The crystal's still doing its thing. You may feel it in one of your glands. You may feel it in your ears. Your eyes may like refocus. Some of them work on your eyes. And like, if you've ever like looked far away and then looked up close, like your zone of focus shifts, the crystal will automatically go in and realign. This is energy work. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because now when you have this awareness, you could sit down and you could touch one of the crystals and you could just feel the nervous system net. You do not need to know the name of the crystal. You can ask the crystal for its individual name, because the same with a human being, we all have, the genders and the this and the that and the I'm from here, but then you have your name. Each crystal also has a name, and its name is an energetic signature, which you may then call upon no matter where you are throughout time and space. Many crystals are quantum codexes. Each person here has access to that system. Once again, the crystal is only going to give you what you are in alignment to receive. But that doesn't mean that they don't hold the knowledge of the entire codex of Mother Earth. Quartz is one such crystal. This is the reason why crystals were put here in the form of a skull. It is because the crystals are holding a vibrational frequency or downloadable knowledge packet, which then, when the people are ready, they are able to take and they are able to communicate with the crystal kingdom as a whole. And they are able to open up their minds to all time and all space that the crystal is willing to gift us. The crystals have information for us. This is how we start the two-way form of communication. We see what energy the crystal gives. We identify the energy inside of our body, and then we talk to it. And yes, you know, when you first start talking to the crystal, you have to use the inner child. You have to use your imagination. You may choose to use your imagination. The star people are correcting. Use your imagination. Talk to it like it's real, like it's a real consciousness. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get a response. And then you're like, oh my God, it talked back to me, you know, and then you like jump for joy and you do like the whole process and you're like, I got a response. And then it becomes an everyday occurrence. You start talking to them. You start saying hello to them. You put a pretty one on your desk and you say, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to communicate with you. Thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for giving me a visual during my meditation. Thank you for unlocking my pineal gland. The crystals are willing to also be programmed. They know what they're going to be programmed with before you have the thought. Many of them are like, they send you the thought form and you think it's your thought inside of your mind. And you're like, I'm going to program you because I had this thought. But it's actually the crystal telepathically talking to you. And it's telling you, I want you to send me this thought now. So like the way that the crystals work is very unique and it's beautiful. Now, if you guys are aware of crystals, we use crystals like quartz inside of our computers. These are our memory chips. So it's so funny because it's like they hold memory, which is what I'm telling you guys the crystals do. They are quantum codecs. They hold memory. So now you can either use technology to unlock the memory of the crystal, or you can use biological technology, which is already built inside of you. You don't need a computer. You just need to sit with it for a little while and you need to talk to it. You need to thank it. And you may choose to ask it for information that you are in alignment to receive. Sometimes, because we had information come forward about a crystal skull named Chief. And the star people told us, they said, you may meditate, you may not hear anything from the crystal skull. You may not see, you may not hear, you may hear. Everyone is different. And then even if you feel as if you didn't have any communication, the star people said, when you're ready to come out of the meditation, say thank you. I did this. And the star people were like, say thank you. And I said, thank you. The crystals will give you a vibrational download. So even if you're unaware of the communication, you will literally see into a different world because you now just received a downloadable packet or a frequency that now magnetically aligned you into different experiences. Whereas if you didn't make the contact and communication, your alignments would be totally different. That's how this works. Many star people do the same exact thing. When we are in alignment to receive, whatever it is that we are focused on, we will receive it. The information in the books was the same way. The star people like, it's okay, write the post, put it out. The people will read it. If they don't know what it means, that's okay too. They said it will magnetically align into their realities. And so many of you guys are like, I read it, and then all of a sudden one day, they just knew what it meant. And that is because you vibrationally aligned yourself to that piece of information. So just like hearing it, it accesses the subconscious mind. And then all of a sudden it unpacks into your physical reality. Each and every one of you, by listening to the content the star people have gifted all of us, have aligned yourself to activate your ascension. My personal ascension journey includes the world among worlds expression, which we're each and every one of us are literally in our own world, and then activating the magical creature kingdom. And the magical creature kingdom is a frequency that is here right now, which includes the rock kingdom. It includes gnomes, fairy, elves. Now, I was walking with a friend in the woods on a path. We were safe. And we started aligning ourselves. Thank you, Forest. Thank you, Mother Earth, for activating the magical creature kingdoms. And as we were walking, we were leaving gifts for the fairies and, the tree spirits and the creature kingdom. We left gifts. It was food. Um, not like plastic stuff. We left food because Mother Earth will either take it back or the animals will take it. But it still is the intent to leave something positive for the magical creature kingdom beings or Mother Earth herself. I saw one of the elfin on the path. And then the second I saw him, and my heart jumped into my throat, he turned into a rock. But I saw him. And my friend who I was with, she saw the way I jumped. And she was like, "Oh my God, I know you saw something because your body responded to it." And I was like, "Yes, I saw him." And then all of a sudden it was like, he shifted. But he let me know it was there. And I saw his whole wardrobe, his whole outfit. And I was like, "Oh my God, I saw," what's good? You do the dance, right? You're like, "Oh, it's amazing." But each and every one of ourselves, we can activate this world now. It is here now. The process of ascension is allowing us to magnetically align to whatever world you're in alignment to receive. Imagine it, see it. And this is where the star people always tell us, what does your heaven look like? How do you see it? How do you feel it? What are you doing in your world? You know, how does it make you feel? And you may choose to activate your imagination and to feel it and to see it and to, the happiest expression that you could possibly be. What are you doing? What does that person do? Copycat that version of you. Do whatever that version would do, and then do it again and again and again until one day you look back and you are that version of you. That's how we do it. And then we do it by holding unconditional love inside of our hearts as we're doing it and being excited and being grateful. It's beautiful. Are all of these in your workbook? Well, the healing workbook is how to heal emotion codes. So there's so many different things. There's different meditations, different emotion codes, healings, different activations. So we do the fire purification is in the workbook. Meditating with the candle element, because there's fire fae inside of the flames. We're able to work, but there's spirits all around us. So they're in every single element. They're in the table of the element tables. Every single one of those contains a spirit. Now, the Native Americans would also talk about earth spirits. And literally, earth spirits, they're all around us. They're in nature, they're in the trees, they're in the soil. Your location code, which is a binary sequence for every single location on the planet, that number shifts. The spirits all align depending on the location that you're in. So there's a whole thing about water. Water holds memory. It works very similar to the crystals. So if you want to know the people, drink the water, because then literally you will have all the emotion codes of that location just by drinking the water of the location. So with that, we're going to end tonight's live. And I just want to say thank you so incredibly much, dear star people, for this beautiful channeled session. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, guys. We are doing the Shadow Work Zoom. The Shadow Work Zoom is at 8:30. Yes. So it's 8:30. It's in a half hour from now. It is complimentary. Anybody who wants to come, you can go to daniellelipton.com and just send an email in and I will send you a Zoom link. Thank you, guys, and you have a wonderful